All right, all right. We're here live Sunday, November 21st, and we're going to be talking about this Build Back Better Act. Who's in? Come on, people, let's get in. One person, we're waiting. Let's wait for another person. Live session. Come on, folks. Let's bring your question. Bring your questions. 3 people. Come on. Let's say hi in the comments. If you're there, say hi in the comment. Say hi in the comment. Hi, Sammy. Sami. Wow, your name is hard. Sami Zimuri. Hi. 11 folks. Yes, let's get right into it. I am going to share my screen so we have a better understanding of this Build Better Act. And we already know that it passed the House, waiting for it to pass the Senate, and waiting for it to become law. Finger crossed, my friend, we're in for a long ride. They promised us before Thanksgiving that they were going to do it. And let's just get right into it and talk about it. So, Nick Tapa, let's talk about it, and then we'll take questions. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm going to explain it a little bit, and then thank you, Sammy. You're welcome. So let me share my screen so we can go into it. It's a summary, but it's really good. It's a nice summary. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, let's talk about Build Better Act. Okay, this is the screen. So as you can see, protection and work permit. So who's gonna get protection and how the person's gonna get protection? It says that it provides an opportunity for certain individual described in section 6001B to request and receive a grant of parole under section 212D5 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, right? What are you supposed to do? The person who's qualified should file an application for parole, pay an administrative fee. Of course, there's fee to be paid to cover processing costs, and complete background and security checks to the satisfaction of the Secretary of Homeland Security. And if approved, parole should be granted by the Secretary of Homeland Security for 5 years, but parole cannot be granted beyond September 30th, 2031. So as we said before, 5 years, then renewable for another 5 years, basically 10 years of parole. Okay, and if you go to section 6001A2, it says that it's going to directs the Secretary of Homeland Security to grant employment and travel authorization to individual granted parole under the section. If the person gets granted the parole, then they have the right to work permit and travel authorization. And they will be eligible for a real ID, okay, compliant driver license or state identification card. So for 10 years, shielding people from deportation. And then it says that who is allowed to this parole? Individual that requests parole under section if they enter the U.S. Before January 1st, 2011, and have continuously resided in the United States since such entry. So basically, cutoff date is January 1st, 2021, or maybe let's just say December 31st, 2010. Okay, and then the person should not be inadmissible under those sections. If you go ahead and Google those sections, you will see those inadmissibility. Really, they are related to security basically I saw substance control, the use of controlled substance, basically selling drugs, stuff like that, espionage, terrorists, really security related grounds, those type of inadmissibility issues, and some type of felony. If you have those, then the person will not be granted parole. So you can go ahead and Google those section 2, 3, 6E, 8, 10A, 10C, or D, then D of section 212A of the Immigration and Nationality Act. Most of them, really, to be honest, I Googled some of them, they are related to security grounds. So if you have those type of crimes, unfortunately, you will not be granted parole. So, and then parole cannot, as we said before, the latest parole is pretty much 10 years and cannot be beyond September 30th, 2031. Okay. Travel document is included, which is good. The Secretary of Homeland Security cannot revoke parole unless the individual is ineligible for parole. Like, let's say somebody committed a crime and stuff like that, then they can revoke it. And then, and the people who are granted parole cannot be calculated annually for the purpose of family sponsor immigrant. Okay, let's say you've been granted parole, but then you want to just status under some type of other family petition, then you will be counted because they're not going to say because you have parole you cannot do this, you cannot do that, as far as family-based sponsor type of petitions are concerned. Okay, and then we go to that. When will this take effect? This is interesting, right? So 90 days after the date of its enactment and beginning accepting and adjudicating application for parole under section no later than 90 days after such a rule are published. If this thing becomes law, 90 days people are already eligible to apply. Really 90 days, 3 months eligible to apply. We really hope that this shall pass before Thanksgiving and sign and becomes law, then people within 90 days. So pretty much, let's say by February, end of February, people should be applying. That's when it comes to parole travel document. But this is what is really interesting, right? When it comes to recapturing of unused immigrant visa numbers. This is so interesting. Follow me very carefully on this one, because a lot of people can find themselves adjusting status. So it says here, well, it amends section 201 of the Immigration and Nationality Act to recapture family sponsored and employment-based visa that went unused during fiscal year 1992 through 2021. That's number one. It doesn't end there. It says the section also allow certain individuals who were selected to apply for diversity visas. There are a lot of people who won since 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, or 2021, but never got the chance to come here, either because they were denied admission or they were refused visa, or because of some specific executive orders under Trump, the travel ban, or they just were unable to complete the visa or admission process because of COVID-19 related restriction. So this will allow them to reapply for those visa because they are going to recapture those visas. That's when it comes to diversity. And it does not end there with family recapturing unused visa. And then, not to mention, on top of it, what they're going to do is to allow certain individuals who are eligible for adjustment of status, but who's waiting for the visa number to become available. Somebody was asking in the comment, F1, F2, F3, F4 type of visa. if this becomes law, right? Let's say that your priority date is not available yet. Well, certain people will have to pay a fee of $1,500 in order to become, for their priority to become available and for them to apply to adjust status. And here, when you have 2 years, if your priority date is more than 2 years, then you're gonna pay 2,500, right? 2,500 to get into the line. And if the priority it's more like third preferences visa, that's for employment, right? Then you pay 5,000. And if it's for employment, the fifth preference petition type, you pay 50,000. That's for employment type of visa. But for family type of visa, really, it's 2,500. Those are the fees that you pay to get in line. So a lot of people wait, especially in the F3 category, F1, F2, really they wait a long time to get those visas. But now if this passes, then it becomes a priority for you in order for you to get here. Then you pay them 2,500 on top of any other fees, right? So this is really interesting. And then it says that this one, the section 245, established the effective date of this 180 days after the date of enactment of this one, or May 1st, 2022. Really, this for the section, this section here. For priority date, you have to wait for until May, 6 months after this becomes law in order to start applying. Not bad. At least people have been waiting F2, F3, F4, been waiting for 10 years. But if you can just wait for 6 months to apply, that would be really great. This is so interesting. And then they give you the fees that you have to pay for each family sponsor type of petition, additional, right? If you have like 2 people, 3 kids and stuff like that, employment. And then it just gives you the fees to pay for each type of visa in terms of like bypassing those priority dates and stuff like that. And then they have allocated some other 2.8 billion for citizenship for the purpose of increasing the capacity of USCIS to educated applications. So to put money there so they can hire more people, so those applications will not be taking forever. So pretty much solving that backlog problem. So this is really great. It's not the best that we wanted. We wanted plan A to start with, 11 millions undocumented, just pathway to citizenship. We didn't get that. We went to plan B, update the registry to 2010. We didn't get that. Now they want to plan C. That's going to help at least 6 million of individual, especially for recapturing those unused visas and putting people on the front line of priority dates. Well, they're going to pay a lot of fees, but it's like there's nothing for free, right? So you pay this, I'll give you this. We know America's capitalist. So that's about it. I'm going to stop sharing the screen so I can take questions. So let's go into questions. Oh my goodness, we got a lot of questions here. Let's see what we can do with those questions. Let me wear my glasses so we can see what we can do with those questions. Okay. Well, Emi, those are the details. We talked about it, right? I went back to that Parole. First of all, you have to pass, you apply for it, pay fees. They didn't say how much the fees will be, and then pass the security background check. Must have been here before January 1st, 2011. So what about with work permit for more than 5 years and they already have it? Will they be going to green card? Mido Dido, no green card as update. They're only talking about Parole when it comes to undocumented. Should essential workers still keep their hope alive? Well, we can't really give up hope, right? So we keep our hope alive, but what we are saying is that when it comes to this BBB, Build Better Act, well, it's only including people who have been here since 2000, pretty much before January 1st, 2011. If you overstay the visa and the family have filed for you and green card issued to you in your country where your visa was issued, I mean, if you have if you, Juliana, if you overstay your visa and you want to adjust status, depending on what type of adjustment of status under what spouse, if you're a spouse, you don't have to go back home. If you're adjusting under something else, then you have to be able to cure unlawful presence. But let's say this bill passes and you were among those people who are going to be granted parole, then it's going to help you adjust status. What about us? We came on 2012. We said, unfortunately, it doesn't talk about it. No, my friend, at least 2016, unfortunately, no. What if you have kids and apply for parole? Well, then your kids will be granted parole as well because you came with them, right? At the same time. Will the Senate change it? The Senate, they can modify some part of the bill because really they have the power to modify the version that they want to sign off on. They will, they might, we don't know. Let's see next week how it's going to turn out. But we're hoping that this is the best, right? Not the best, because we wanted 11 millions, but this is at least something that they can agree upon, all of them. I mean, not even all of them, at least the majority, right? For it to pass. So that's what it is. Any more questions? Let's go to questions, folks. Yeah, so we can go, I mean, if we end this live session, you can go back and look at this. I'm going to leave the link for that in the description box so you can read it. I think it's a summary. Yeah, I agree with you, Mido Dido. It's not fair for other people, but that's the only thing they have right now, you know. What about DACA? DACA, they went to appeal. New applicants are not able to apply. Remember this DACA, the rule back, I guess in July or August, can't remember, that it was illegal, right? And then the Biden administration went on appeal. Well, then they came up with another proposed rule so that DACA will no longer be challenged, but it's just in the limbo. So basically, as of today, new applicant cannot apply, but old applicant can still renew their DACA. So A2 visa holder. What about A2 visa holders? Well, they're really talking about family base, right? F1, F2, recapturing unused visas. So nothing more when it comes to A2. Mido Dido, I know, trust me, it's not fair, but it's life, right? Is it really fair, this life that we're living? It looks like it's not fair. Some people get things, some people don't. So sorry, I had to drink water. More questions. So bottom line is we just have to wait, right? Next week, we're waiting for the Senate to decide whether they're going to pass it or not, or whether they're going to modify it before they pass it. And then Biden will sign it. Well, he's sick right now, but if he gets better, or maybe Kamala Harris taking office now will sign it. So we don't know what's going to happen next week. But what they promise us is what they are going to do it before Thanksgiving. So we hoping that they will do it before Thanksgiving. Me though, maybe next year. Yeah, maybe next year. So what can we do, right? We don't give up hope. So got DACA in 2013, started paying taxes from there. Might qualify. Well, qualify on what? Because if we're talking about parole, if you have DACA, then you have parole, right? So I'm pretty sure you have a travel document as well. If we're talking about this parole, we're talking about people who came here and they're undocumented with no status, but came here before January 1st, 2011. Yes. Why? Why? Yes, you can even get married to U.S. citizen now. Valid marriage, unless you have some felonies to prevent you from getting green card. But if you get married to a U.S. citizen today with a valid marriage, you will get the green card. If someone sponsors spouse and children, what do you mean? Someone with parole? Someone with parole, according to what is written, they can bring their family temporarily. But I don't know if it's really going to turn out the way we think. So, my friend, if you don't have no more questions, we're going to end here. What I'm going to do is stop, but you can go ahead and rewatch it because it's a great summary of the Build Better Act so far. Really great summary. We're going to hope for the best next week. Brandy Wine, is it a good sign for a VAWA to be more 3 years? VAWA, oh, your VAWA case is pending for 3 years. 3 years is the maximum for VAWA to get some type of answer. If you don't get it, some type of answer within 3 years, you need to call them. RT. What I'm saying, you qualify if you got here before January 2021 and you have no criminal record. You pass security background check. That's when you qualify. In parole, can someone sponsor spouse children in 10 years? That's what they're saying. IG Mobile, that's what they're saying. But in action, not sure if it's going to happen, but the problem is if you can travel and go visit your family and your wife back home, can you bring them here? They're saying that you can bring them here for the 10 years period of time that you're staying on parole. Is it doable? That's meant to be found, to be known once we apply, right? Can someone get scholarship under parole? I think so. They can. Beltoni, yes, I believe they can. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Can I travel with parole with pending VAWA? Yes, you can travel with pending VAWA on parole. But the problem is are you talking about your VAWA that you already have on pending there with a parole that you got from VAWA? The problem is if you travel when your case is pending and the decision is made while you're outside, and if it's a bad decision while you're outside, that's where the problem comes. How are you going to get back? So that's my answer. Alicia, no, they're talking about 2011, before January 1st of 2011. That's what this parole is all about. Okay. Folks, we are almost in 25 minutes. So let's wrap it up. We were talking about this parole, and I hope that this information, if you go back at the beginning, we really went through it. And I really hope that it is so straightforward, sorry. And then that we really hope that, well, next week, at least we will know for sure, right? Can someone here sponsor their spouse and children? Yes, they can on parole, but the problem is, are they gonna get here? But the person with the parole IG mobile will travel because they will have a travel document to go see their family. Can they try bringing the family? Yes, they can try. Are they gonna get granted? I cannot guarantee you that. Yes, I'll share the link after I hang up here so you can read it. I believe it's on page 66. Start there on page 66. It's 2 pages only. Middle. I'll share the link. Let me write it down so I don't forget. So, okay, thank you very much. I hope to talk to you soon once it passes, right? In parole, yes, temporary. How many days can the state spouse children on parole in US? As long as the person who has the parole, 10 years. That's how the parole will be for 10 years. 5 years, then renewable for another 10 years. Another 5 years, sorry. In total, 10 years. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. No, 2015, Lucas, this bill is not covering 2015. 2011, before January 1st, 2011. Abebisi, if that person came before 2011, then they will get parole. Are they going to benefit from recapturing visa? If they're eligible, yes, they will benefit.